Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a good day yesterday. Now, today's gonna be full of a little bit of my life, very small portion of it, at least. I'll be sharing little bits and pieces here and there throughout the time. Since Link has told me a lot of you all kind of want to know my childhood, some of the abuse I went through, and all that lovely jazz. So I have no problem sharing it, especially with the kind of certain circumstances we're under. I'm just not going to say names. I'm not going to say who, what, when, where, how. The only name I will be putting out is if they have passed away and they are no longer in, harm's way. So here we go. Buckle in, everybody. It's all going to start off when I was 4. A certain family member would rub me inappropriately, usually to the point sometimes I was raw, while I was taking a bath. That happened from 4 to 7. That was the only thing that would really happen. Other than that, cool person. Don't mind him. Just know there was something up. Now I'm older. When I was younger, I just thought I was getting bathing because I needed help getting bathed. When I was 7 to 11, this is where it's going to get interesting. This person I will for the name. His name is Gene Luce. He was a nurse that came into our family. The state ended up paying for him to come in, as well as the military, because my father was in the Air Force. And so they paid for him to come in. Again, it happened from 7 to 11. It started off small, usually kind of, family photo type things going on. Receiving gifts, very innocent, taking over the father figure role. Cooking, help cleaning, stuff like that. It would all start in the bath, or the shower, mainly the shower because we didn't have a bath at the time, so it was all in the shower. Be rubbing me certain inappropriately while my handicapped brother or special needs brother was in there with us because it cut down the time. I'm sure it just made more sense, and we were kids and innocent, and didn't matter if anybody saw anybody's body parts. And then it turned to child imaging, special images for those creepers out there. Certain outfits, positions, whatever the case might be. Been there, done it. The videos are out on the internet. Can't do anything about it now. Please try to not look them up. That's kind of gross. And then from there, it turned into Grape and other child SA features. Yay! That usually included the mouth and other body parts and whatnot. You could probably fill in the blanks. And then after that was another that Gene Luce left when I was 11 to become a life skills teacher. Well, a life skills teacher, I don't know if it's the same over here in the UK, but they deal with special needs students, kind of giving them, of course, normal life skills that they're going to need to be out in the real world, so they learn how to sort out dishes and stuff like that. They also learn how to write, read, do whatever if they're capable. He became a life skills teacher after all of that. So from 11 to, I would say, about 12, it was fairly shortly lived. I had another family member make me do certain favors, child SA type favors, to get out of trouble with my mother. If I wanted to basically not do the dishes that day, or if I did something that may have pissed her off, by like playing when I should have been playing outside, something like that, I would have to do a favor. Would it include the mouth or, well, the rear end, which don't recommend. There was also, and after that ended, there was a few neighbors that did the do. That was on and off randomly, depending on the neighbor. From the age of 14 to the point where I was, I think, 17? No, 14 to 16. So that was on and off. Child essay, grape, stuff of that nature. I kept all of this hidden from my mother by being the perfect little child. I was the blue-eyed little angel for quite a while. I would spring clean the house once a week. I maintained my grades. I was the teacher's pet. I would cook. I would help with the family and not complain. If my mom asked me to do 150 things, I would do it, and I would make sure it was up to her regulations. Later on, I just couldn't take the stress of being the perfect child anymore, so I did some damage. I would fight physically my siblings. I would threaten them with sharp objects because the nurse, Jean Luce, used to use knives and other things such as curling irons for fun. Or threaten to plug them in or use a sharp blade in certain areas. So I learned that using sharp objects meant I had safety, that I could be safe. So if I felt like I was in danger or they were going to do something I didn't like, I would use sharp objects. Not on them, not like anything, just basically holding it, walking it around and being like, look, this is how it is. I was never going to use it, so kind of psychotic, I know. I would yell, I would scream, I would punch holes in walls, I would kick holes in doors, I would fail all my classes until it was time for the main report card to come out, and then I would semi-pass, just pass enough to make it to the next grade. Yeah. And then high school comes around, and I was sold into trafficking. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm gonna end up having to edit that out.
More like evil.
Yeah, evil. So I was sold into trafficking type of stuff, and I don't know how many abusers there were in that. I could probably tell you it's more than the number of fingers on two hands. Sorry if this phone is shaking. I am actually kind of shaking. I have not let this stuff out in many years. There's a lot of things I've been through that not even Link knows. So y'all are only gonna get the snippets. If you have any questions or concerns, especially if you have kids and you kind of want to know a little bit more on how I kept it quiet, stuff you can do to help someone who's been through that type of trauma, just let me know, and I will either direct message you or do a video response, depending on the circumstances of the comment. So that is all. I am going to take a break because I need to vape a bit, and y'all have a good day. Take care. Just a little bit of information for you all. Jean Luce did end up going to prison. He ended up dying in prison about 2 weeks before being let out. I ended up getting this done because while I was in high school, I had an S education class, and they said if I had premarital stuff, then I was going to go to the bad place. And I was dirty and basically used goods, very old-timey type of thinking, and it pissed me off. So I walked out of the classroom before the class was done. I kind of stormed off, slammed the door. I'm assuming the teacher or the school contacted my mother about it, because when I got home, she was kind of waiting. I was also getting quite bullied a lot that day too, so I wasn't too sure what she got informed about. I tried to let her know I was just going to go upstairs to my room and do my homework and just not eat. That I wasn't hungry. I didn't want to deal with anybody, really. So I just wanted to be left alone. She didn't buy it. That was kind of out of routine for me at that time. At least the homework part was definitely out of routine for me at the time, that I hated homework. So she knew something was up. So she brought me over to the chair, the couch that was, or the settee that was in the front room of the house we were living in at the time, pinned me down to it and told me what on earth happened. At that point, I just tried to explain to her I just got bullied a lot today and just don't want to talk about it. She didn't believe it. She was like, well, I got a call. I was like, you stormed out of class. And I was like, ooh, great. So I let her know what happened. She gave me the opportunity to take it to court, to the police station, and make a case or not. And I decided to do so because he was a life skills teacher, and I didn't want him to be able to hurt anybody any more than he probably already has. I felt guilty for a very long time because he was a life skills teacher for at least 4 or 5 years before it finally went to court. So I had a lot of kind of survivor's neglect, survivor's guilt, and also the fact that I didn't speak up, and it could have been happening to other people that didn't have a voice and couldn't voice their own issues and concerns. But no, he died in prison, so don't worry about him. He's probably 6 feet below ground or ashes by now. I don't know. Don't care. But that's it. Have a good day.